I got my orders to attack Chaumont. We had to move, and I was told that, first of all, I backtracked. Patton was at Verdun on the 19th, the day I was moving. We were moving before anyone ever told him to move. He decided. He had so much acumen, but he decided to send us at midnight out. And I later learned that we were supposed to go to Arlon. And that's where the rest of the division came. That's where the 26th Division came. That's where the 80th came. That's where the 3 divisions that launched the attack on Bastogne, hitting the underbelly, attacked from. When I got to Arlon, I thought that's where I was going to stop. But that's when General Dagger obviously had orders from somewhere. He turned me around, and we went west to Neufchâteau, from Neufchâteau on the Neufchâteau-Bastogne Road. So he must have gotten, General Dagger must have gotten orders from somewhere. Well, the orders came from Bradley. Patton didn't know it. And when Patton heard about it, he said, pull them out. So, because he had already promised General Eisenhower that he was going to attack with 3 divisions, the 4th, 26th, and the 80th. 3 divisions in 48 hours. And if he didn't have one combat command, particularly 4th Armored, which was going to be his left flank, he would have just been in trouble. As I mentioned, we'd been attacking through November, 4 terrible weeks. We reached the point where we were going to go on to Germany, but we were in no shape. Men can only stand so much endurance in their vehicles. So someone in their infinite wisdom said, you need a break. So when we were 8 miles from the German border, ready to attack across the border, we were pulled back because we'd gone 4 weeks without a hot meal, 4 weeks without a minute of maintenance. And we pulled back to the rear, and I was assigned by division to a little town called Domnom-le-Durs. So we were relieved by the 1st 12th Armored Division, and now the 4th Armored is going back to try to reconstitute, rehabilitate itself, and to get ready for the attack to the east. Well, when I learned that we're going to a place called Domnom-le-Durs, I sent an officer from each company run ahead to be the billeting officer, to make arrangements with the folks that are in the city and to find places for each of the companies. So off they went. And when they turned around and we started moving, I decided I want to see the town before my battalion got there. So I got my Jeep and drove down a main road, shortest secondary road, into a dirt road. And when I got there, I stopped and I said, is this Domnom-le-Durs? There, as I mentioned, were the houses, half barn, half home, this big manure container. It's raining, the stuff is draining down the road, and I looked and I said, I can't believe that I'm expected to put my battalion, to crowd my battalion into this tiny place. But then I soon heard the first tank make the turn, that 90-degree turn. They were on the way, and I was standing where I did when I waited for Patton. They came by, there was no delay, and somehow or other, in no time, without any stopping, that battalion, tanks, half-tracks, jeeps, trucks, had all found a place to put their vehicles, find a place to have a shelter, and by the end of the day, things were quiet. The town had absorbed the battalion. And I have said for years, the sound of a good outfit is the rapidity with which it digs in. They dug in no time, and that was our home for several days. We didn't know how long we were going to be there. So the weather was bad, it was still rainy, cold, and the next day, tired as they were, the men got right at it because they started to get the vehicles in shape and the weapons in shape, not knowing how long we'd be there. And 2 or 3 days passed while they were hard at it. And about the end of the 3rd day, I was down visiting one of the companies, and a runner came to me and said you wanted it at the battalion headquarters. We call it the CP, quote. It was in their living room of a small home, and I got there, I got on the radio, and it was the operations officer of the division, and he's telling me, he said, you're going to have a visitor tomorrow. And I said, oh no, not another visitor. We had a British general and a couple of other people visit. And he said, it's the old man. And I said, that's different. And he said he will be there. You're to be at the town square at 9 o'clock. Have your troops continue doing what they're doing. And you'll be ready at 9 o'clock to meet him at the town square. So, as I mentioned earlier when we talked, you talk about rumors sweeping a group. About 20 minutes after I knew, every man in the battalion knew that Pat would visit them the next day. So that was a big topic of conversation when they lined up for chow that night. And I got my chow. I decided to go to bed a little early, not knowing what the next day would produce. So I went to sleep. I slept, as you might expect, quite fitfully. I was up early, and when I awoke, I looked out and the sun was shining. And I couldn't believe it. I said, this must be patent weather. So I got out and I got my breakfast. The troop got their breakfast, started working like they always did. I went down to get ready to meet Patton. I could see my work, my men looking over their shoulder, seeing what to expect, looking to see what to expect. And men lived in these homes now, and they had the vehicles behind them. There were many, many in the rear areas. They drifted by. Every man wanted to get a look at the old man. So they came by, and I kept looking at my watch. It got close to 9, and I was standing at a place, not the town square, because it didn't have a town square, but outside the Catholic church, where there was an open area where the parishioners met for Mass. And that's where I stood. I said, this is going to be the town square for me. But anyway, I looked at my watch about 9 o'clock, and just after that I heard this loud screech. I looked to my left, and I saw this Jeep trying to negotiate that 90-degree turn, caromed and righted itself, and then sped toward me as fast as it could. And the closer it got to me, I could see an individual beside the driver. He was holding on the windshield. He had with his left hand, he had a riding crop in his right hand, and all I could see as he approached was stars. The sun was shining on him. I saw 3 stars here, 3 stars on his collar, 3 stars here, 3 stars on his, and I must have counted about 25 stars. But anyway, when the driver saw me, he jammed on his brakes, and it came to a sudden halt. I stood up to salute, and I didn't realize it until then that while I'd been waiting, there were 3 farm animals, like Clydesdale horses, drinking at a trough behind me. And when the Jeep came to a screeching halt, they pulled back and came by me and by General Patton, who was leaning down from his Jeep, and they wallowed out and started down the main street. And his first words to me were, "Ha! I say I've started a cavalry charge." So then he hopped out of the Jeep, smartly started to move toward the troops. They were waiting, and he was waiting to talk to them. So he went to group after group after group, and as he talked to them, he encouraged them, praised them, had tidbits, kidded them a little bit. He was just an unusual individual. He had them eating out of his hand, and he did this for about 45 to an hour. And when we got to the end of the road, there was no place to go. He turned his Jeep around, tapped me on the shoulder, said, "Keep up the good work." He jumped up on his Jeep, grabbed the windshield, and off it went at the same speed that it had coming in. And now the soldiers stood up, they were all saluting him, and he had his riding crop, and he was pointing at them, and he was like the old Roman commander reviewing his troops.
So, General, were you surprised when General Patton showed up that it was just General Patton?
I was astonished, not surprised. This doesn't happen. This was a three-star general, an army commander arriving alone in a jeep with only a driver and a map. No entourage, no MPs, no staff cars, no chief of staff, just he and the driver. He said he was going to visit me in this remote little town at 9. He was there in this remote little town at 9. Thank you very much to you three for giving me an opportunity to talk. I enjoy talking to you. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person. I wish you well. I hope you have a great reunion, great homecoming. I'll be thinking of you. And maybe we can get together one of these days and keep charging.